portal. Okay, all right, cool. What is the Lion's Gate? Daniela, greetings. What is the Lion's Gate portal? What is the Lion's Gate portal? Why? You're going to discover why you've never been taught about the Lion's Gate portal. Lion's Gate portal. Honestly, as much as I want to be empathic, but thank you, Daniela. We are having a session. You are saying you are dying in silence. Should we stop the session so you don't die in silence? Vaughn, greetings. What is the Lion's Gate portal? Why did they hide the Lion's Gate portal from you? Why? Why? The next 15 days, I am going to awaken your curiosity. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to challenge shallow understandings. Ayanfe, hello. And you're going to be provoked to realize that there is a difference between times and seasons. There's a difference between too many people are focused on time. Too many people are focused on timing, not seasons. You don't understand seasons. You must gain mastery of both dimensions, times and seasons. The Lion's Gate portal is not a timeline, it's a season. And what do you do during a season? You engage, you activate, you take advantage of seasons. What is the Lion's Gate portal? And why you've never been taught about it? This is why the gate. See, the whole reason why you have the esoteric and the exoteric knowledge is for power differential. The elites, the power players, they want to ensure that there is a difference between the rich and the poor, the strong and the weak, men and women. They want to keep that segregation line. That's the whole point when it comes to esoteric and exoteric knowledge. You can check that thing that is making that noise. Is it from there or from here? Okay. What is the Lion's Gate portal, guys? Double tap the screen. I want us to have more people before we get straight into it. What is the Lion's Gate portal? Vaughn, good afternoon. What is the Lion's Gate portal? The Lionsgate portal is an annual celestial alignment. It is an annual alignment between the Earth, the Sun, and the Sirius planet, which is the spiritual sun. So you have the sun and then you have the spiritual sun. And there is a reason why this is omitted from mainstream teachings for power differential. If you have access to some knowledge, you would cease being a slave to anybody. So the goal is to ensure that you outsource your power because when there is no knowledge, then people can remain slaves. My people perish for lack of knowledge, right? So my people perish for lack of knowledge. That's what Bible says. And most people wake up to this galactic event and season in every universal. So the goal is to be able to use the collective energy of the Lionsgate portal strategically. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's why this annual event has been hidden in plain sight. But it is used by the elite. It is ignored by the masses, but used by the elite. Yeah. So you ignore it. The masses are using it. Most of the things that you ignore, most of the knowledge, the dimensions that you demonize and ignore, those are the tools and the weapons that the elites and the power players are using to control the narrative. So the internet keeps lagging. Why? Is the internet better now? Let me double check on the Samsung phone. I'm sure the internet is going to be better now because we have switched. Is the internet better now? All right, cool. Most of the knowledge, most of the insight, most of the tools used by the elite are usually ignored by the masses. So most of the things that you ignore are the things that the masses, the elites are using, the power players use. Because to the elites and the power players, the priority is personal interest and how to cultivate power, how to wield their sword. That's what the elites are after. So there is no religion at the top. When the elites gather, there is no religion. It's political power, it's economic power. That's what they do. That's what they discuss. And that's what I've always told you. I said, most of the messages coming from the pulpits and the mats are for the masses. They are for slaves. Outside of that place, the conversation is different. I'll give the definition again. Outside of the confines of the elite, the conversation is different. The conversation is different. That's why they will never tell you about the Lionsgate portal. They want to keep you in that calendar loop. So you see every day and every month as ordinary. Oh, July, August, September, October, November. Hidden dimension of everything to you for the purpose of power differential. Wow. I heard our internet is. How is it now? Don't worry, to work. Is it still lagging? Okay, all right. So that's what's happening. And that's why you must take advantage. The internet must work. How is it now? It's okay now. So what is the Lions? What exactly is the Lions Gate portal? Exactly, Phoenix. What is the Lions Gate portal? The Lions Gate portal is a celestial alignment that occurs. Now, before I give you the definition, let me explain something to you about times and seasons. The calendar that the world is running with is a doctored calendar. It's a Roman initiated calendar. That's what the world is running with, right? They stole the calendar, but they couldn't steal the seasons. The ancients, they functioned, they related with the universe, with nature, from seasons, cycles. They didn't have a linear approach to nature. It was a cycle. Humble greetings. So you see. So even though they stole the calendar, they doctored it and corrupted it and passed to us their own calendar. The ancients knew, and based on the fact that the ancients knew seasons, right? We know that during this period, we are approaching the Lion's Gate portal. The ancients didn't call it July, August. They probably didn't call it Lion's Gate portal, but it was during this time of the year that they observed the Lion's Gate portal. Please understand that. So you have to see things from the seasonal, cyclical dimension, not the Gregorian calendar, linear dimension. And this is the answer people who are always saying that, oh, the calendar is corrupt and this and that. No, we're looking at it from the spiritual calendar based on the energetic vibration of the moment. Farmers still plant seeds when they are meant to plant seed. They harvest when they are meant to harvest. Are they following the calendar? No. Seasons. What is the land saying? What is the earth saying? What is the river saying? They speak to nature and nature talks back at them. So what is Lionsgate Portal? It is a celestial alignment that occurs between July 26th and August 12th, peaking on August 8th every year. So the Lionsgate Portal begins on the 26th of July, but you start feeling the energy from the end of June into the 26th of July, officially from 26th of July, and then it lasts till August 12th. But then it runs into September, October, and most likely the end of the year before winter. So the energy that lasts until winter is the energy of the Lionsgate Portal. That's why if you don't get it now, how you cross into August will determine the rest of your year. And this is the rest of your year. And this is a fact. During the Lionsgate portal, what happens? The sun in Leo aligns with the Sirius. Sirius. Sirius is the spiritual sun. That's what it is, the spiritual sun. There is the sun and there is a spiritual sun, right? So that's what happens. So the sun in Leo, the sun enters its house in alignment with the spiritual sun. This internet is still lagging. I really I really want people to get what I'm saying. So the internet must work. If it doesn't work, we'll come back in the night and do this session. How is the internet now? How is it now? It's fine now, right? Okay, thank you. So I'm going to run through the definition of the Lionsgate portal again because I want everybody to get it. This is day one. Tomorrow will be day two. 15 days we're going to have 15 days we're going to have the Lionsgate portal tips. I'm going to be giving you tips from the iceberg, right? The Lionsgate portal again is a celestial alignment that occurs between July 26th and August 12th. And the peak is on August 8th. Right, it's on August. Right, it's on August 8th. But the energy kicks in from late June, right? Extending into July 26th, is a spiritual sun. And the Orion's belt, there is the Orion belt, another dimension of the planet, rises above the eastern horizon, all of them directing energetic line with the earth. So the sun is giving more than it used to give to the earth during the Lionsgate portal. Direct energetic transmission to the earth. This one is strange because my internet never does this. So I don't know what's happening. Is it TikTok? Is it our internet provider? But we'll do what we have to do. If it doesn't work well this time, we'll come back later in the evening because this is a 15 days straight before the masterclass starts, where I'm going to educate you on what Lionsgate portal is. So you are not just hearing about it, you know what to do. And the sun, listen, the spiritual sun, the Sirius sun, which is the spiritual sun, the Sirius, is twice the mass of our sun. And the Sirius sun emits more higher frequency than the natural sun that you see. And the ancients understood how to plug into this. They understood how to tap into this energetic shift and vibration. It is not a myth. It is an astronomical fact. It is a fact. It's not a myth. Last year, I was able to expose you to some of the reasons why the Lionsgate portal is real. The first time I knew about the Lionsgate portal, I think I was like 21 years old. And that was like over 20 years ago or so. And nobody in Nigeria knew about it. Because the goal is to ensure that a lot of these dimensions are hidden from you. And I tell you the truth, the people hiding it from you, they are practicing it. Between now and August, just watch. You are going to see a lot of conventions. You're going to see a lot of events on that Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Muslims, Christians, everybody having their events. Why? The Yoruba practitioners are going to have their Isheshe in August. Between July and August. There will be New Yam Festival. The Akans in Ghana, they're going to have a festival where thousands of people from all over the world are coming. It's an ancient ritual that takes place every year. Corporate giants are going to have a lot of strategic events, award nights, this and that, everything that people do. Why do you think they are doing it? Because the sun is emitting high frequency spiritual light codes. And these are the components and elements that the ancients were using. Exactly. The energy on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway between July and August. Go and check, you will see. That's the period you're going to be having traffic consistently. Everybody is tapping into it. Everybody is plugging into it. It is not a myth, brothers and sisters. It is an astronomical fact. We talked about it last year. People tapped into it. They saw results with limited information that we gave them last year. Now we are giving more information this year because you can settle the next 12 months of your life when you understand the Lionsgate portal shift. The Lionsgate portal does not need your belief to function or open. The Lionsgate portal needs your ignorance to stay locked. That's it. So this one is not, I don't believe in it. No problem. It's going to happen anyways. The fact that you don't believe in the rainy season doesn't mean rain is not going to fall in August. Pay attention to the things that the elites pay attention to. That's where the power is. The gate does not need your belief to open. No. It needs your ignorance to stay locked. Yeah. So you can say it's spooky, it's superstitious, it's a myth, it's this, is that. No problem. The only thing you cannot fight are the laws of nature. You can argue with doctrines and dogmas, but you cannot argue with the laws of nature. You can't argue with astrology, with numerology. Numbers don't lie. Psychology does not lie. Thank you. The fact that you don't believe in rainy season doesn't mean rain will not fall. I don't believe in it. So the fact that you don't believe in something does not mean that that thing is not effective, especially when it comes to the laws of nature, the systems that govern nature itself and how nature operates. And this is why you have never been taught. Colonial education systems disconnected spiritual astronomy from science. That's what they did. They separated astronomy. Esoteric astronomy has been disconnected from science just to keep you ignorant. A lot of people tell you, a lot of people, the things you could not achieve in the first 6 months of the year, you are going to start getting higher frequency, light codes, energy will just start coming on you. Imagine how many people got this from the place of the unconscious. So imagine you are conscious of it. You will perform better. You will produce better when consciousness kicks in. This is why you've never been taught, because see, there are people who need your energy. Yeah? To leverage the Lionsgate portal, they need to harvest other people's energy. So if you are conscious, how would they leverage your energy? How would they harvest your energy? So your ignorance is serving other people. That's what you must know. Your delusion is serving other people. Your delusion is a blessing to others. It's a curse to you, but it's a blessing to someone else. Whenever you lose, someone else is gaining and benefiting. For every energy and attention that you waste on frivolities and irrelevant things, someone else benefited from it. Someone else gained from your ignorance. Your ignorance benefits a particular class of society. That's why they'd rather have you not know. This is why you've never been taught about the Lionsgate portal. Colonial education systems has disconnected astronomy from science. It has disconnected numerology. Imagine having numerology as part of the curriculum of school. Knowing that just by discovering 5 numbers, 5 most important numbers, you can design your path in life. Imagine having that. But if you discovered that, nobody will be able to use you and harvest your energy. That's the whole point. And that's why even organized religion had to suppress this spirituality to control the narratives of power, to control the narratives of timing, to control the narratives of God. Organized religion hides the esoteric dimension of everything. And they feed you with the beliefs, the cliche, surface, popular beliefs, popularly acceptable beliefs about God, about the universe, about nature, about yourself. That doesn't need any curiosity, doesn't need any scrutiny. You don't need any inquisitiveness. Just believe. Anything they give you, just believe. So, mainstream education, organized religion, has restricted you from gaining access into this dimension of knowledge. Because the goal for them is to control the narratives of power, to control times, to control God. Because if they understand the esoteric dimension of timing, they can take advantage of seasons. And why do you think that the Romans doctored and corrupted the calendar? They wanted to take control of timing, Gregorian calendar. Look at some of the most spiritual countries in the world is Ethiopia, because Ethiopia has been able to preserve their calendar system. Because he who controls the calendar controls the seasons. So we are not necessarily referring to the Gregorian calendar of August, although that's what we have to call it, right? We are telling you that based on seasons, cyclical nature of times and seasons, this is a period where there is higher frequency transmitted from the spiritual sun to earth. And your ignorance or your disbelief in it cannot stop it. It will only feed other people. If it doesn't benefit you, it's going to benefit other people. And that's why you see what the media did. The media has reduced it to horoscopes. It's cosmic intelligence, not horoscope. They've contaminated it and they've turned it to horoscope. So they've weakened the effectiveness and the power. So you see, they turned it to memes, horoscope memes and all that. It is cosmic intelligence. What you are dealing with this period is a cosmic shift. That's what you are dealing with. You will not hear this from anywhere in this country, Nigeria, as I'm speaking to you. Because these are informations that are meant to be gate kept. And if you want to switch and move from just a hard worker to a person who is consistently producing results and functioning from essence and frequency, you must plug into this. You must plug into this. This is not just about knowledge. This is deeply spiritual, especially in the 7th month of the year. You are meant to be spiritual. You are a spirit having a human experience, but you must pay particular attention. You must be very selfish about the things that feed your soul in the month of July, because that's what you're going to carry into August, so that you are positioned to benefit from the higher frequency of the spiritual sun. Because the sun, like I said, is entering the house of Leo, and that's what Lionsgate portal is. Positioning, that's what it is. Positioning. And that's why you were not taught this, because nobody wants you to access the original software of your soul. You are not meant to access. The day you access the original software of your soul, you cease to become a slave to anybody, to the systems. You cease to be that. You can think for yourself. You can think for yourself. They don't want you to think for yourself. So what they did was they gave you access to calendars. They gave you clocks. But they never gave you access to times and seasons. So many of you don't even have access to the times and the seasons in your own life. So you don't understand the events. I love something Oyedepo said years ago. He said, take note of the events of your life. You know what that means? It simply means be the master of the times and the seasons of your life. You are too focused on calendar, time, chronologically, and calendar. So you are limiting and restricting yourself from aligning yourself with the move of the spirit, the move of energy. And seed, when you say seed and harvest, they are tied to times and seasons. There is a time to plant and there is a season to harvest, right? There is a season to plant and there is a season to harvest and there is a time to plant. And a lot of people, they've been passing through the lion's gate unconsciously. Now, everything that you have done unconsciously, imagine that you now know how to do them with consciousness. So some of the things you are going to notice this period is restlessness. There will be restlessness. There will be sudden shifts. Even in the media, the collective intelligence of people will shift. There will be emotional purging. Emotional purging. See, I told you at the beginning of the year, I said it's the year of endings. So your friendship or relationship with some people will end. Don't super glue. Exactly, Phoenix. Of course, I know this. Everywhere in Canada land is filled with esoteric symbols, but they won't know. And I don't blame the bishop, because if he tells them, they will say he's evil. So let him leave them where they are. The day a slave is ready to be free, the slave will wake up by him or herself to be free. So I have stopped blaming pastors or imams for anything. It is your choice to remain a slave. If you are above 20, 30 years old, it is your choice. It is not Oyedepo, it is not Adebo, it is not Chris. It is you by yourself. You are an adult. Nobody is holding you down. Nobody stick a gun in your neck to drop your money. You did it for sometimes selfish reasons, for self-gratification. So I'm not in that lane again of accusing any pastor, any imam. No, it's you that I'm talking to. Restlessness, you're going to see restlessness. Sudden shift, you're going to see emotional purging. Some of you, there are some relationships or friendships that will come to an end. Let them go. Let them go. Because the reason why those relationships and friendships will end, when you really look at it, when your third eye opens and you see it, it will be like, for the next level, for the next phase of your life, if you carry that relationship into that next phase, it is that relationship that will destroy what you are building. Some people are not healthy for your spiritual journey and who you want to become, because they have decided to travel their path in life with their trauma and their ego unhealed. As long as they have their ego and their arrogance, they are fine. You can't carry them. You can't carry them into the next phase of your life. That's the way I see life. The moment I notice that you are unhealthy for what I am doing in my life, it's not about whether you are a good person or a bad person. You are gone. That's it. Especially if I notice that you only want to hold on to your ego and your arrogance. Bye-bye. There will be relationship breakdowns, job resignations. Some people will get new jobs. You're going to have some kind of creative explosion. A lot of unexplainable events will take place. You are not mad. You're not going cuckoo. Your soul is trying to reboot. That's what's happening to you. But you must be aware. If you are not conscious or aware of it, you define it as something else. Because what is happening is your soul is trying to reset to the default programming, to its original state so that you can start functioning. Then you can position yourself to be in alignment with nature. So when the Lionsgate portal, the spiritual sun, the Sirius, enters the house of Leo and is transmitting high frequency lights, you are positioned to take advantage of it. Because whether you believe it or not, you walk through the Lionsgate portal every year. Every year you walk through the Lionsgate portal. Every year you walk through the Lionsgate portal. Every year. Whether you believe it or not, whether you say it is spooky, whether you criticize what I'm saying, you walk through it every year. The same way the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Yorubas, ancient Igbos, ancient Sumerians, the same way the ancient Akhans in Ghana walk through it every year. And they knew what to do with it. When the river Nile is full and the farmers are gathering their harvests, Lionsgate portal, you walk through it every year, whether you believe it or not. Why does this spiritual sun matter? There is a hidden sun behind the sun that you see. It's known as the Dogon. How many people have read about the Dogon? It's known to the Dogons as the Sigitolu or Saigitolu. Yeah. There is a hidden sun behind the sun that you see. There is a hidden sun behind the sun that you can see right now. And the Dogons called it Sigitolu. The Kemet called it Sopdet. The ancient Egyptians, that's what they call it. Because it is the true energetic center of the system. It is the spiritual sun. That's why Psalm 19, is it Psalm 19 or one of the Psalms says, for the sun shall not smite thee by day. It's not referring to the sun you can see. It's referring to the sun behind the sun that you can see. The Sirius, the spiritual sun. The spiritual sun is the server of the sun you can see. So what you see as the sun is the projector. It's just a projector. It's not the real sun. And you see what the Egyptians did with this. They timed the Nile's flooding and their new year to the rising of the Sirius. That's why it's called the most powerful time of the year. This is the time. The most powerful time of the year is the galactic new year. There is a shift. There is a shift. If you want to get to me one-on-one, send a WhatsApp message or click the link in the bio. Send a WhatsApp message to you. And if you want to get to me one-on-one, the best way is to subscribe to this next masterclass. Click the link in the bio. You see what the ancient Egyptians did. In February or March, I was in Egypt and I went to the river Nile. And I've been to the Nile connects Egypt, Uganda, it cuts across. I've been to both of the Niles, right? And what the ancient Egyptians did was they timed the Nile's flooding and their new year to the rising of the sun, of the Sirius. You get what I'm saying? To the Sirius, that's what they did. It's the galactic new year. It's the most powerful time in the year. So it's not just about times and seasons. It's more or less a cosmic code. You are meant to decode it. You are meant to be a totally different person this period. You're not meant to take things lightly because you are about to enter the shift. So you're about to enter the shift. And like I said, it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. So the sun that you see, which is a reflector, you know what it does? It gives lights. That's what the sun does. But you know what the spiritual sun does? The one that Bible says the sun, because the sun the Bible is referring to, like I told you, is not the reflector. It's referring to the sun behind the sun that you can see. It gives life. That's what it does. This sun that you can see gives light. The one behind it gives life. So it is this period, the Lionsgate portal, that you are going to receive high frequency vibration, which is not just light, but life. That's what it is. And listen, guys, anything that can give life can also give death. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Ignorance is very expensive. Greetings, Untamed. Ignorance is ignorance is costly. There is a cost of ignorance. When you ignore energetic windows, when you ignore the esoteric dimensions of everything, you are going to miss alignment. That's what you're going to miss. When you are too religious, that you demonize everything, it is your leaders that will be buying the private jet and be living a good life. You are just going to be crying every day, hiding under the umbrella of the success of your religious leaders and your organization. But you are not going to be that way. Exactly. Ignorance is no exception of the law. It's not an excuse in the court of law. Oh, I didn't know that if I slap someone and they fall down, I will go to jail. Judge, please, I didn't know. No, it's not an excuse. Hey, straight, go to jail. When you ignore energetic windows, you're going to miss your soul. Your soul is meant to go through an upgrade every now and then. Your soul, like, tell us the mystery behind silver rings. I am the one I'm talking about now. Focus on that one. Your soul is meant to go through upgrades, intermittently, upgrades. But when you ignore energetic windows, you know what happens to you? Your soul will not go through the upgrade it's meant to go through. When you ignore energetic windows, you know what happens to you? You are going to miss out on ancestral activations. You're going to miss out on wealth programming. You don't understand when you are meant to do something, how you are meant to do it, who you are meant to do it with, because you ignore energy interaction. You ignore energy transactions. You ignore it. You are not moved by the Spirit. When it says live by the Spirit, it's saying you must live by the understanding of energy and energy transactions. You must be a master of frequency, master of energy transactions. Because listen, energy does not disappear. Energy amplifies what you already are. So if you are a scattered person, for instance, energy would multiply your chaos. If you are in alignment, energy would multiply your power. So for those who are scattered this period into the Lionsgate portal, the serious sum, the energy will multiply your confusion and your scattered energy and your instability. But those who are aligned, you will notice how energy will start multiplying your alignment. You will find yourself doing the right thing, going to the right places, talking to the right people, and then you will start seeing results. And because you didn't know that it is Lionsgate portal, you just wow. And maybe that was the time you started going for a prayer meeting, and then you give the prayer warrior all the credit, but you don't know that it is because at some point you aligned yourself with nature, and then nature multiplied your dominant energy at the time. The Lionsgate portal, what it does is it amplifies your dominant energy at the time. So if your dominant energy is alignment, soul work, abundant state of mind, that is what the Lionsgate portal will magnify. If it is negativity, fear, confusion, emotional instability, that is what it is going to magnify. Because the portal does not play favorites. The portal plays frequencies. So it's not about, I am the favored child of God. Forget all those talk. The portal does not play favorites. The portal plays frequencies. What's your frequency? If your frequency is wrong, if you like, be crying about how, what do you do to love me? So you carry my matter for your head, though. That is buffoonery. The portal the universe, nature does not play favorites. If you like, be chosen from here into Israel. Nobody cares about that. I am a chosen, I am this. God, I am the best thing since sliced bread. God helps me to wipe my ass. God feeds me, He breastfeeds me. They think they are so special because of one music. The portal does not play favorites, it plays frequencies. So the portal is going to magnify your dominant energy this season. So it's not about the song. I am the one the Lord has chosen to do this story. It's going to end with good music. That's it. I will give you serotonin. Yeah, serotonin. There are no God's last born here. This is frequency activation. This is frequency alignment. This is frequency alignment. The portal, the Lionsgate portal does not play favorites. It plays frequencies. So you must take note of the frequency that you are vibrating. Feelings matter. Feelings matter. So I said I should work on an album. I know all their songs. Feelings, brothers, feelings matter. Feelings matter. How you feel this period, it matters. How you feel, it definitely it matters. If there is something you must take away from here, the portal does not play favorites. There's nothing like I am the out of my family, God picked me. I am the favorite of God. I am God's only beloved child. No, if you are vibrating a wrong frequency, that is what the portal will magnify. You will be a favorite child of God, but broke, busted, scattered and shattered. But you are still a favorite child. You are the apple of God's eye. You know, we have the glorification of stupidity and delusion. You are not paying attention to your frequency. You are talking about how you are the apple of God's eye. You are the apple of God's eye, really. I told you I'm going to trigger you this period so you can come out of every form of ignorance. Because this ignorance is not an excuse. When is Lionsgate portal? Ignorance is not an excuse. And your ignorance is feeding other people. I hope you know that. Your ignorance is feeding other people's agenda. That's what it's doing. The wailers of December, we know them. We know the wailers of December. The people that will line up in December waiting for die-minute miracle, we already know them. They won't do what they are meant to do. Yes. They won't position themselves. They won't monitor the frequencies they are vibrating. But by December 1st, God can still do it in my life before the end of the year. When you take advantage of the Lionsgate portal, you settle the last 6 months of the year. That's what you're doing. You're settling it. When I hear people tell me, I have crushed 60% of my 2025 goal, I have crushed 75%, I've crushed 100. And I know people who is not new to me. I know a lot of people in the community who tell me that 90% of my goals for 2025, people started accomplishing their 2025 goals in January. And you are waiting till December, not positioning yourself. You are still demonizing the same systems that you need to upgrade your soul. You are not going seeking knowledge. I'm not talking about delusional knowledge, real knowledge that will transform your life. And waiting every time, die-minute miracle, die-minute miracle, the God of the 11th hour, the God of the 31st. As you are here right now in this New Year Eve, God can still change your story in this 31st night, 11 p.m. You still think God will change your story on the 31st night. But now is the opportunity for you to position yourself so you don't put yourself in a situation of pressure. Energy does not disappear. Energy amplifies what you already are. So like Oyedepo said, pay attention to the events of your life. So what frequency are you vibrating right now? Because the portal is going to magnify the frequency. It's not about favoritism. It's about frequency. It's about frequency. Now, there are, a lot of people have commented and they said, no, I realized why it was between July and August that year, there was a shift in my life. Ask yourself, have you ever experienced a life change between July and August that you could not explain? Between late June into July, into August, into September, have you ever experienced a life change that you could not explain? That's the Lionsgate portal. And that happened to you from the place of the unconscious. So imagine that you are conscious. Imagine that you are conscious. Because listen to me, your soul knows the Lionsgate portal. Your soul does not relate with the Gregorian calendar. Yeah. Coach Fonde said this, you always experience it. Someone said, I got most of my jobs in June, July. A lot of you are shifting from one place to another, but you don't even realize it. So the Lionsgate portal is not just a zodiac date. No. It's not an astrology hype, like I said. This is a galactic event. It is a galactic new year. But the only people that will benefit are people who are conscious. Now, two things that the Lionsgate portal will do for you. If you are conscious, it's going to activate your destiny. If you are not, it's going to magnify your distractions. Dates are very important, Madam Grace. You see, people are, now you will begin to realize that some things actually happened between July and August. But take note, if you are conscious and positioned, this season is going to either activate your destiny, or if you are not conscious, it's going to magnify. There will be so much activities, so much shadow for you to chase this period to magnify your distractions. That's what's going to happen. That's what the Lionsgate portal does. The Lionsgate portal doesn't just do goodies, abundance for everybody. No, it magnifies your dominant energy. So it would either activate your destiny or it will magnify your distractions. You see, so it's not about, oh yes, Lionsgate portal, everything good. Check yourself. That's why July, the 7th month, is there for you to examine yourself in preparation for the Lionsgate portal. Thank you for using that word, Kairos moment. Christians will say Kairos moment. When you are in a Kairos moment, you have to be mindful of distractions. This is not the time to be listening to too much of Nigerian music. And I'm not saying that I like Nigerian music, but this is not that time, because most of the Nigerian songs out there are low vibrational. They are low vibrational. Focus on binaural sounds, 427 heights, 888 hertz, frequencies, sound frequencies that would empower your soul. Lion code frequency sounds, not all this, what's that their song? And as much as I'm saying it, some people will say, me, I cannot do without my Nigerian song. I can't help you. But this is not the time for that. This is a Kairos moment. And you shouldn't just accept your kairos moment as from a place of excitement. This is not the time for Charlie Poppy. They call me Charlie Poppy. Ze, 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 ze. He is using your energy to empower himself. Are you the one traveling for concert all over the world? Not you. It's him. So he's using you. Let me tell you, energy vampires, they are out now, this period. They are sending invitation to people because they need your energy to empower themselves. They need your energy. Binaural sounds. Just type binaural sounds on YouTube. 888 frequency, especially 888. Any sound that carries 888 frequency. If you need to move at all, listen to Eva Aloria's song, Concentrating Focus. That's a great music for Sakra Chakra movement, for Kundalini Sakra Chakra movement. Eva Aloria's Concentrating Focus. Focus. Circulate and circulate. Everything is going. And circulate every single day. If you have to move at all, congratulate me and celebrate me. If you have to move your body for your Sakra Chakra energy flow, that's the kind of music you should listen to. That's the kind of song. That's the song you should be streaming. Aside that, what you need is binaural sounds. That's what you need. 888 frequency sound. You need more of sounds without voice. You know what I mean by that? Because there's a difference between music and sound. This is a period to understand the different dimensions. The sun that you are seeing, the main sun powering the sun you are seeing is behind it. This is not the main sun. This is a reflector. So you listen to the music, there is a sound behind the music. So bypass the music and go and listen to sound. So instrumentals without anybody's voice. That's what you need now. I don't know. This what I'm telling you. I'm meant to be charging money for it. So you are not just here to be listening to it and not activate and not apply. Apply it. Apply it into your life. Don't leave here and go and be listening to Charlie Poppy. Listen to Charlie Poppy in December when it's time to dance. Or maybe you go to somebody's birthday, this period, or a wedding. But when it comes to your personal life, you are meant to focus on sounds that empower your soul for upgrade. Because the Lionsgate portal will amplify your dominant energy. It will either activate your destiny or magnify your distractions. Please understand this. And that's why I'm having, before we start the masterclass on the 17th of July, I want to use the next 15 days to just explain to you, especially for those of you who may not attend for reasons best known to you. But this is a masterclass that everybody should attend. But if you are not going to do that, you are still going to benefit from the next 15 days somehow. Tomorrow, I'll take you deeper into how the ancients, especially in Africa, right, how they revered this time. Why their wisdom was erased? Because their wisdom was erased. But if you are already feeling any pull right now, if you want to be part